everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. As always, I am joined by my brother, Josh.
Damn it, I had a funny thing I was going to say, and I totally forgot now.
You know what it was? I came in so hot. I came in ready to go.
You did. I was not prepared for it. That was very impressive. I'll give it to you.
I hit that record button, and I just let like a radio voice in my head take over. It was just like, you're going to do
You
this
got
thing.
your inner three dog coming out.
My inner three dog. I mean, we've done this 160 times at this point. By the way, have you gone back to listen to any old episodes recently?
I tell people when they ask me like, "Hey, what should I start listening to your podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe go ahead and skip to like episode 100."
Yeah, I don't know. So, my work method used to be I do everything in DaVinci Resolve because we have video. And so, when you're done with DaVinci, you can export like an MP4 and a WAV file. So you have your audio and your video. And whenever you're working with a WAV file, especially when you're working with something like an hour or more longer, you want to transition it into an MP3, which you can't do in DaVinci. I would use VLC, which is, if for those who have a computer, it's the app with like the little traffic cone. I would use
The
that.
only app that does not have ads.
Really?
Yeah, of all of the Microsoft, like the things they would throw onto a computer, is the only one that didn't have ads.
Well, don't say that out loud. They may get some ideas.
No, they strictly are like, we'll never have ads for it.
Well, so that's what I use. So I would put it in there, convert the wave to MP3. And so then when you get to the actual podcast, a lot of those early podcasts sound very shitty. The audio is just very bad. I'm embarrassed by it. I would delete them, but I do like if someone's crazy enough to go back through all of them. I'm sure there's one person out there. I like the people to see the growth of like, oh, Nick learned EQ at this point in the podcast, blah, blah, blah. We're learning as we go. It's a gaming podcast. It's what we do. We learn.
Well, you learn. I just play.
But yeah, that's a little fun fact. I was thinking about going back and listening to a few old ones just to see how bad it hurts me.
I mean, I'm crippled just by the first episode alone.
Should we pull it up right now?
No, God, please don't.
Should we pull it up? No, let's not do that.
It's so cringe. I don't want to.
If
you guys want to do it, please, by all means. But I won't go back to it.
Have we been using? By the way, have we been using the same theme song this entire time?
Pretty sure we have.
All right, now I have to check it. Now you're making me check it. I'm checking it right now, real quick. Josh, I know this is gonna hurt you, but I think we should at least, hear it out, just so we can.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna come over here. I'm gonna pull out my in-dust multi-surface, and I'm gonna clean my desk.
He's cleaning his desk while I pull up our very first episode, our oldest episode, which these technically didn't go up on YouTube, and we didn't get YouTube until like a year or 2 years after we started.
I think so, yeah, because at that point we had finally gotten Jake. Because I think at first it was just me and you for a hot minute, right? Before we brought Jake in.
Yeah, get back into the mic, a little orphan Annie doing all that cleaning over there.
Sorry. Well, it's been a while since I've been down here. Obviously last week, and when I came down here, so because I'm right next to the sub pump, the little tiny bugs that live in there like to come out. Even though I sprayed, so they're all dead. But I'm like, oh, they're on my desk. But thankfully, they're not anywhere near my keyboard. They're on the sides. I'm just like, this is gross. I don't like this. My skin is crawling. So I'm gonna take care of some of these little bastards.
Okay, Josh, I need your ears ready. I'm
right,
gonna
let's do it. Come on.
I'm gonna pull this up. First of all, I already hate my haircut.
Was it when you had long hair?
No, it was short hair.
Oh, okay.
You have to remember this was 2021.
Oh, that's just it. I don't remember. I know at one point you tried to do like the Matt Damon, or not Matt Damon. Fuck, what's his name?
You think about it. I'm gonna press play on.
You tried doing the Brad Pitt hair.
The Pitt, but this wasn't Pitt. This is. I didn't know what I was doing. So the song's still there.
I thankfully I can't hear it. We're fine.
Oh, but you'll see it. I'm gonna zoom out so you can. I'm gonna take it out of theater mode so you can see it. Actually, theater mode gave you a better view of it. Look at us. You're in a good spot. I think you got it figured out.
Oh.
Have you had any problems defending?
Oh, it hurts. You look all. I mean, I don't look good either. My hair is short,
go over it is every once in
and
a
I
while
don't
you
have
kind of hear
gray
like
in
a
my beard
knocking
from the looks of
noise.
it.
It's like a continuous knock, and then it
I
like
I look like
lasts for
Elliot
30 seconds,
Page.
then it goes away.
I have
It's the
Elliot.
Yeah.
I have
sound
the
of it.
Elliot
You have
Page
Elliot
haircut right
Page
there.
hair. Yeah.
You might
No,
want
and
to
I
check
think
with your
it's
doctor.
I think that's when like your the
You
left
were
side of
Elliot
your
Page
body
before
starts
Elliot
standing up
Page
and
became
being a
Elliot
little
Page.
droopy.
Very
You
good.
hear a
Very
knock
good
for
joke.
30 seconds.
The doctor's like,
Well,
the
we were
audio's not
having a
as bad
show
as I
here. You just
remember it
brought a
being.
brand new microphone for your computer.
So I think
No,
that
compared
you
to what it is now, though,
Oh,
it's still not good.
I'm gonna prescribe you a podcast.
Oh, it hurts so bad. Hold on, let's jump ahead a little bit. Oh, I used to do timestamps. Look at me. I was a little timestamp baby.
Starts crying like it was the opposite. Like Pikachu was
You're
just
sick.
like roadkill on the side of the road, and I'm just sitting there like bawling.
Those are only great for tutorials.
Oh, this is bad. You know, it probably sounds worse. The MP3 files. Let me pull one of those up real quick. I want people to hear what they're being spared by not listening to those early episodes.
Yeah, be thankful you came in when it was later, when we actually got it. Well, I say we. Nick's the brainchild of all this, as far as like making it all happen. I'm just the guy who gets here, makes the notes ready, and does the assignment. Nick does all the heavy lifting.
Remember when we used to be a part of a podcast network?
Are they still even a thing? I mean,
I
I'm
think
sure they are, but
they're about the same place they were before we left.
so we aren't really missing anything.
Your mild inconvenience at work and your name. As long as they keep paying me, I'll take it. It is not region locked because they tell you
It must have been there must have been something. It must have been right around the time we added Jake that I did something and I goofed up the audio. Because I'm listening to these and I'm like, oh, these aren't terrible.
Honestly, was it when you started? Were we splitting the audio where I would do? I would record on my computer and then send you a copy of it.
So we got to a point. So there was a time where it was you, me, and Jake, and we were just all on the same audio track. It was just the easiest way to do it. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? Everyone record on Audacity. I'll splice them together. And we did that for a while. And that's when I actually started messing around with EQ. And I think that was around the time of the first Goaty. So I think our audio got a little better either during the first Goaty So or right after the first Goaty So.
I believe right after if you said it.
But yeah, we've come a long way. First episode, December 6th, 2021. We've been doing this for 4 years, Josh.
I know, that's crazy to think. We have to do something special for the 5-year anniversary.
We do. Well, 5 years won't be until 2026, Josh.
I get that, but we gotta start planning for it. It's
we
gonna be
gotta
a
start
big
thinking.
number for us.
We gotta get more guests back on the show. I was thinking back, we had
I was thinking the same thing. Like it's been a hot minute since we had a guest on here.
we had Katie, we had Dempsey, Shinobi. I haven't talked to Shinobi since he became a dad. We should check in with some of our old guests, see how everyone's doing.
Yeah, let's have a catch-up month or something.
The JMO and the old Switcheroo boys. They're our most reoccurring guests. They've both been on at least twice now, right?
Yeah, and we've been on
We've been on
one of
Switcheroo once or
theirs?
twice.
I think I know I've been on there once. I think you may have been on there twice. Maybe.
By the way, guess where Lane is tonight?
Post Malone.
Post Malone and Jelly Roll, that piece of shit. That big piece of shit. I can say that because I'm a big piece of shit. I'm allowed to say that.
That sounds like an awful time. Not gonna lie. I mean, I don't like Post Malone, but that just sounds awful.
I needed a little help. It's like,
it's just honestly, it's a bunch of Tool guys and white girls. That's all it is.
I mean, I'd rather listen to his like rap album. I don't know anyone like. Why I don't understand the pipeline from rap to country. I get it, but also like when you're just a face tattoo guy like Post Malone is, I don't get it. I don't get it. Do you want to be Eminem or do you want to be Kid Rock? Fucking pick one.
Dude, I think he just wants to make money and have a good time. And honestly, fuck, apparently he's doing both. It's good for him.
I mean, if you're gonna reinvent yourself, could it be a good reinvention and not like a half-assed reinvention?
It's a common theme. You either go country to pop or you go rap to country.
It all sucks. It's all bad. But we're not here to shit on Post Malone and Jelly Roll, though we should just make the whole podcast that. We are going. It's our second week of book club. We went through episodes 2 and 3 of the 2010 Alan Wake. I think it's remastered. I don't know how it's listed anymore.
PC is considered or standard, or which is a port of the 2006, and PS4, PS5. I think the series, or obviously the most recent. I think those have the remastered.
Did you say 2006? Did you mean 2010?
Yeah, why did I think 2006? Why was I thinking 2006? I
You
don't
got
know,
big dumb dad brain.
dude.
You've got big dumb dad brain now.
What happened in 2006, Josh? Well, there's a
Well,
lot.
Well, we're talking video games. We're talking some news. It's a light news week, so we'll breeze through the news, and then after the news, we got a meme, and then right after that, we'll finish up with our book club for episodes 2 and 3 of Alan Wake. I do think we'll get through the 2 DLC, just because I'm just about done with the game, and I'm like, I kind of want to keep playing. There's something, and we'll get to it later, but there's something. The game is sticking out to me more. Like, there's a lot of stuff that went over my head in 2010 that now I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh, this is really good. I like this.
Oh, they did. I mean, the storytelling is fantastic. So,
And there's a lot of just a lot of pieces that you're like, oh, Control, or oh, Quantum Break. Like they keep popping up, and it almost makes you go like, did they mean to do that, or was this unintentional? What's going on here? You know what I mean?
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You looked at me like my mic went out for a minute.
I was.
So
Oh
like,
no, I was waiting for you to say something else. I'm just like, is he gonna continue, or what's going on here?
Before we get to the show though, let's get through our chores real quick. Smashing Game Time is wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, and YouTube Proper, where we have a video version and you can see our lovely faces. More people, I think, like to look at our faces for some reason. I don't know why. It's an audio medium, but you guys like the visual aspect of it.
They just like to have pictures of us when they're tossing their darts at our heads, going, "God, one of these days they're gonna go."
Oh God, can like the O'Doyles? Could something happen to them, like the O'Doyle family and Happy or Billy Madison? Please, please, please.
Dibs on keeping my eye.
We just, you know what happened? The O'Doyles, their car hits the banana peel and they all go off a cliff.
Oh, I was thinking of what's the family from So It's Always Sunny?
Oh, the McFoyles.
McFoyles. That's why I was like, wait a minute, we're talking about the same thing, right? Yeah, the
There,
O'Doyles were the bullies.
there's also apparently an unfortunate family in the new Final Destination. Apparently, the new Final Destination is just like one big family that's being killed off, which I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm here for
I
that.
like I like that. I
I,
like that a lot.
I've liked every little bit of it that I've seen so far. I kind of want to go see it this weekend. Nothing for me there. No response.
I mean, are you asking me on a date?
Maybe if we can both get away from the kids, quiet date night.
I can make it happen Saturday for sure.
Let's circle our wagons on that. Guys, fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. We know you like to leave reviews, we know you like to leave stars. If you leave the reviews, but also just remember, we don't give a shit what the algorithm tells you to do. You did it, you're here. You didn't need an algorithm to get you here. Other people aren't going to need an algorithm. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. Fuck them.
You do the one click, you press play, and you sit back and you enjoy it.
And you zone out. And then, I was listening to a podcast. Oh, I keep getting distracted. I was listening to a podcast earlier today. I took a sick day because I wasn't feeling well. And I fell asleep and I woke up an hour later and it was still going. I was like, this is nice. This is nice. This is how you're supposed to listen to podcasts.
Just do it while you're asleep.
Yeah. I woke up and I was like, I guess I heard the whole episode. Whatever. All right, we're through the chores. Let's talk games. Josh, it looks like you haven't played much this week. What happened, big fella?
I had my dad things. I had to go outside in the yard. I had to cut the grass. I had to fertilize a bunch of stuff. I had to take some of the Roundup and spray a bunch of cracks in my driveway, because this weekend I'm going to power wash and clean my driveway so that I can seal it again. And then let's see, what else did I do? I also fertilized the yard, and then I also sprayed it, so hopefully I don't get shitty bugs everywhere, like mosquitoes, houseflies, stuff like that.
It's a lot of dad shit you've been on.
that was just Saturday, and then Sunday was Mother's Day, of course. I had to get up, make mom, aka my wife, some chocolate chip pancakes and some bacon, breakfast in bed style.
We did
Um,
something similar. I had the 2 kids help me, cook some pancakes up. We got some, hash browns, we got some, was it bacon? I think it was bacon. I think it was bacon. And then we had some eggs. We had ourselves a nice little continental breakfast.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it smacked.
Well,
So,
it's a little tougher when the kids are older and they're helping out 'cause, my 2 will like the bowl 'cause I mix my own pancake mix. I don't buy the
yeah,
bag from the store.
nope,
It's fucking easy. I'm just like,
I
"Alright,
did the
here's
same
everything
thing.
you need." Because I find that people who do it the boxes from the store, it tastes very watery, those pancakes do. They don't
Yeah,
have, like, a good, like, fluffiness to them. But the thing about kids helping you is they will eat that shit out the bowl, and mine do.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it's also like, guys, there's so much better batter you could put in your mouth. Why like pancakes of all the batters you could do is the worst.
It's fine. I think once the sugar's in there, you're okay. They're not even waiting for it to be mixed. They're eating like, "Oh, here's flour, I'll eat some flour. Here's sugar, I'll eat some sugar. Oh, here's baking soda, soda, baking powder, baking powder."
Dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think it might be something wrong with your kids.
They're fine. It's no different than them eating they're eating the pancake just one recipe at a time. They're making the
Are they
pancake,
mixing it out? Are they mixing it in their mouth and just swishing it around to mix it in?
it becomes a pancake, and then they take a drink of syrup to top it off, and they're done.
Okay.
My kids are innovators, you fucking bastard. So what? So you cooked chocolate chip pancakes. Anything else? You sealed, or you're getting ready to seal your driveway. What else? What else?
Let's see. I mean, really, that's pretty much the gist of it. Oh, we had to take the baby to her 2-month appointment
How was
today.
that? She still healthy? She good?
Oh yeah, she's in this for the most part within the 50th percentile for weight and height. Her head though, she's definitely got a Kaufman head. She's in the 70th percentile.
Poor girl got a big ass head. They all got big ass heads. It's just
I
the
do.
curse.
It's, guys, it's the Kaufman dream. Like, I don't want to tell you beyond that.
Just means you're wicked smart, I hope.
I keep telling her that I'm like, God, hopefully you just have my brain, my head size and your mom's brain, because otherwise you are fucked.
I just hope I hope you're empathetic. I know empathy likes to skip our family generations here and there, but I hope you're empathetic.
Yeah.
That wasn't a subtweet at anybody. I,
Whoops. Hopefully they're
whoops.
not listening. No.
Anyway,
Yeah, so not much to do other than play Alan Wake. I'm happy to say though, obviously I'm a perfectionist. I like to complete it completely. Since I'm playing the PS5 remaster, uh, I have knocked out all of the standard achievements, and all I have left is Nightmare for the main story.
Mhm.
So beat the game on Nightmare mode, collect all the extra manuscripts in Nightmare. So complete the manuscript. And then there's a couple odd ones in there that I have to get still. I'm missing 10 thermoses, and I was only missing, I think, 5 signs.
So let me ask you about those nightmare pages, because I have no intention of going through again. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, probably not. I just don't have the time. Do those pages change anything in the story or change anything in the game that happens?
They add a little more to it. So, like, the very first one you find talks about how Barry met Rose, basically.
Hmm.
So it doesn't really, like, change. I mean, I think later on it does. I think the first stuff kind of fills in the blanks a little bit because you're like, obviously, like, when you meet Barry later on down the road, he tells you like, "Oh, Rose is a sweet girl, and she's just really, a big fan, a huge fan. She runs your fan club for this website." And you're just like, "Okay." You don't like you're obviously missing a whole week. It kind of fills in that whole week of what was going on.
Oh, that's fine. I just thought maybe like you'd get a page and then like an extra path would open up that wasn't there before or something.
Oh no, not that I'm aware of. No, it's literally the same game, just a little harder difficulty and um,
Way less
night.
supplies.
Uh, I wouldn't say less. Well, they give you like less batteries. Like you instead of getting like on normal, I think it give you like 3 or 4 batteries. You only get like 2. Your flashlight doesn't recharge as quickly.
I've got
Enemies take like 4 shots, the standard guys do.
I've got a fight to pick with the game, by the way, but I'll save it for the book club. I'll
Alright,
s I'll
yeah,
save
so
it.
that's where I'm at with my games this week. But Nick, it looks like you've had a little more fun playing games this week than I did. So what's on your list?
I had some time this week. I've got a bunch of work to get done, but sometimes when all you're doing is work and no play, you slaughter your family in their sleep. Wait, he didn't do it in his sleep. No, they were wide awake in that movie. There was another ghost that did it to his family in their sleep, though. The Shining is what I'm referencing here.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the one where they find the movies.
Oh, Sinister. Why are you bringing up
Oh,
Sinister
Sinister,
so late at night?
yes.
God damn it! That movie terrifies me. You fucking bitch.
Seriously?
I did a double feat when I think it was like 2010, 2011 before I left for college. I mean, I was in college, but I was at a community college at the time. I did a double feature of what's the one with the red guy behind the woman's head? Oh, I just talked about it the other day. I keep wanting to say Inscription. I know it's not Inscription. I'll think about it. But I watched that, and then I watched Sinister, and that's just a fucking terrifying.
Insidious.
Insidious. I knew it was an I. It started with an I. Insidious followed by Sinister, and I didn't sleep at all that night. Those are two great movie monsters. Sinister loses the plot a little bit in the second movie. Don't watch if you liked Sinister 1, don't watch Sinister 2. Do yourself a favor. No, I've had a lot of openings this week. Been playing Plants vs Zombies with the kiddo. Where were we? We were at like a Red Robin's, and you know how they have this little desk kiosk.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to play with it, and Plants vs Zombies was on there. So I was like, yeah, play that. That's like a thinking game. That's not like I'm just gonna click randomly and then it's gonna do sounds and light. No, it's a defend your fucking house, man. And I was like, hey, I have this on my computer at home. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, we can play it. I get home, it's not on there. This is another game that Steam has taken down completely. Even
I
if
didn't
you
realize
owned
they
it.
took it down.
I'm pretty sure they took it down because I owned this game on Steam. I know I did for a fact. But now so what I ended up having to do, so it's listed on there as Plants vs Zombie Game of the Year edition. So I had to buy that. It was only $5. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Plants vs Zombies, the original posting has disappeared, and if you owned it, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just gone.
I'll have to look there. There's a site that apparently pulls like all of the games that are like hidden because they're no longer available.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to figure out what that site was again and just pull up to see it if it's on there, because I think if it is, you're able to actually re-download it.
Yeah, you have to show me that because Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was another one where I was like, yeah, buddy, let's play a Sonic game, and I went to pull it up and it was gone.
Yeah, you have to use the Atari, not Atari, the Sega Genesis Mega Drive,
Yeah,
which I have, and you have access to.
it's super it's super annoying because like this is why I'm always like you should diversify. You don't have everything on Steam. Like if they take something, it's gone. Like have some
But that could
physical
be said.
media.
That could be said with everything, though. I agree with the physical media. That's why I've been collecting PS4 games. 100%. That's why I've been collecting it.
But yeah, just be aware, folks. Keep tabs of your shit and raise hell if shit good disappears. I know I used to be the kind of person that was like, "Oh, you're only mad they took Ed and Eddie off Max because now you're aware that it was on there." But no, if you have
Yeah,
something and you want to be
really?
able to go back and use it, steaming and streaming something and having something like the license for something, while a little different. I mean, there are some similarities there, but yeah. So I've been playing Plants vs Zombies, way easier than I remember. I just kind of spam sunflowers until I have about 10 or 11 sunflowers, and then just hit them with the pea shooter, hit them with whatever. The mushroom, the night sections. As a kid, I remember those being way harder. And here I was just fucking running through them. I'm sure I could up the difficulty maybe in like a replay of the game, but just breezing through it. But it's so much fun just experimenting with plants and seeing what works. I just unlocked the squash. We're in the third scenario where you have a pool and you have to do lily pads in the middle. It's good stuff.
I think you broke me.
Why?
Ed and Eddie's no longer on Max?
Yeah, they took it off.
God damn it! I was watching it too.
I'm pretty sure that was back in January they took it off.
I was watching it one day when I was sick, and I got like I think 30 episodes through, and I was like, I gotta come back to this. I just had never got a chance to get back to it.
Yeah, there was an infographic that I saw last month that was like listing out all the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim stuff that was coming off. And that one was like one of the first ones. I was like, shit, fuck. I didn't know it was gone because that was one I would put on. I think they're getting ready to take away Adventure Time also, which sucks, but I also think that's on Hulu right now. It just sucks.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
it's
it
hard
is.
to, especially when your kids get into something and then you lose the way to watch it and you're like, shit, what are we gonna do? What the fuck are we gonna do? They really like this. God damn it. Fuck.
Pirate it.
That I might start looking for some box sets. There's an Ed and Eddie box set that I found that's
How,
got every episode.
how expensive though? How expensive is it?
Last time I checked, I think it was $30,
Oh, that's not bad at all.
but it could have gone up. Who knows? DVD market's getting out of hand. DVDs and CDs are going to start catching up with vinyl here pretty shortly. Vinyl has
I'm
gotten
sure.
ridiculous. You can't like most single LPs you're spending between 25 and $30. I'm like if I'm right at like the 25 line, I'm okay. Once it starts to get up to 30, I'm like, all right, this seems a bit aggressive, but whatever.
Amazon has it right now, $32.99.
Okay, so hey, right about
That's not bad.
inflation is hit it a little bit, but it's
It's
still pretty
actually,
cheap.
according to the list price, it's 53% off.
Oh, I feel like that's the Aeropostale
Yeah.
method where it's not really marked down at all, but they say that it's marked. They mark it up to mark it down.
Hell, if you wanted Ed and Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and Dexter's Laboratory, 88.14. That's not bad.
It's not bad. If you could find me Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, then I'm all set. I'm all done.
Wow. You keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
All right, another game I played is and this is the title. Don't get confused. This came out a few months ago. This is a game about digging a hole. This simple premise: you buy a house, you find a thing in the house. It says there's treasure underneath the house. All you got to do is dig. You buy a shovel that will explode if it runs out of energy, so you have to recharge it. The way you recharge it is by finding minerals and selling them on the internet to pay for the recharge and pay for upgrades like a bigger shovel, jetpack to get out of the hole, uh, bigger battery pack. I forget what the last one is. Oh, bigger pockets to hold more materials. And you just go, you dig the hole, you dig deeper, and then once you're all filled up or start to run out of energy, you go back to your garage and restock up and sell everything, and then go back to you just keep doing that until you find the treasure. And I played it in one go. I think I beat it in about an hour and a half. Really fun, stupid little game. You're just digging, dude. And there's a twist at the end. There's a twist at the end that I did not see coming that I really enjoyed. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Simple game. I think I got it for like $10. I bought it when I bought Plants vs. Zombies. But yeah, simple little digging game about digging a hole. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Go play it. That was a pleasant surprise. I'm still playing War Rats. I'm working on that review. That might be my final review for Game Chronicles, depending on when I get that done. But that's fine. That's the side-scrolling tower defense game where you're a rat with a helmet on and huge rat balls. Still stuck
Have
in
you
your head?
seen lots of rat balls? Yes, it is actually.
It just plays the same thing every time you boot it up. So I've seen a lot of rat balls. It's fun. It's just stupid fun. It does get challenging. I think it does need some balancing. It's only early access, so I'm sure they're working on the balancing. I need a little more time with it before I finish my review. And then I'm playing Alan Wake, but we'll save that for book club. Comic book wise, it's Battle Beast Week. Battle Beast Week is finally upon us. This is the Battle Beast is a kind of like a side series to Invincible, featuring Battle Beast, a character that like appeared periodically throughout the series. It's just like this badass alien cat that just likes fighting people because he's like, I need an honorable fight. And that's all he does. That's all he does. So everyone who worked on Invincible is back to work on this. It sounds like they have a long running thing that they have planned. Going to pick it up tomorrow. Can't wait to read this. In fact, I wonder if Hoopla has it, because if Hoopla has it, I'm going to read it tonight. But then I'm going to read it again tomorrow after I pick it up. So that's where I'm at with everything. Slower week on the games, but Hey, it's book club. This is what book club does. You got to commit to that one game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. That's all you have time for is that one. That's it.
It is making me want
It's
to play
Doctor
Alan Wake.
Strange.
It's what?
Doctor Strange.
Just one. Just one. All right. So before we get into book club and everything, Josh, you got some news for us?
Oh yeah, I've got some news.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Well,
This seems like a lighter week. What do you got first?
it is. First off, Civilizations 7. Oh dear lord. Civilization 7's Nintendo Switch 2 physical edition is a code in a box. This is a GameSpot article written by Brendan Hesse. Yeah, so obviously, uh, the big thing with Switch 2 is they're not so much giving you a physical PDF, they're giving you the box with a code that you just put in for a digital copy of your games. I don't like the way this is going. I think Nintendo is very much a fuck the consumer at this point.
I
Uh,
mean, the other code thing's kind of weird because you're like box physical media, and then you open it and you're like, wait, code.
yeah, like if I wanted a box to like for the physical media without the game, I would do what everybody else does. I would go on eBay, buy a stack of the boxes that are like pre-made, and then just go somewhere and have the artwork printed out.
Now
That's all you're giving me.
doing the code instead of the actual cartridge, is that like a piracy thing? Is that them battling piracy right there?
No, but they're changing their user agreement and stuff to basically say like if you mod your consoles or do anything like that, that is considered a violation, and they will brick your consoles.
They are super aggressive. I wouldn't
Dude,
say
very aggressive.
I mean, it's a very anti-piracy move. I wouldn't say it on some fronts it is anti-consumer, but it's anti-mod, like break into the thing and play around with it, which is always
See,
something that I liked doing like when I was younger, was like tooling around with the things that I've bought. So yeah, I guess you would say full on almost anti-consumer.
like I would understand if piracy was that big of an issue, but I feel like let's face it, at least in my opinion, there can't be that high a percentage that's like, oh, because of this piracy, we're losing this kind of money. Well, those people were never going to pay for it to begin with. And if you take it away, they're more than likely still not going to buy it.
Yeah, Nintendo's been trending this way ever since they sued that one guy for a
Bowser.
badillion dollars, right?
Yep.
That one guy will be paying for the rest of his life.
But it's like, I mean, because of between that and then just cost and trying to justify $80 a game. Like, and I know everybody's like, well, GTA 6 is going to be 100. Yeah, guess what? I'm not buying GTA 6. I can give two shits about it right now. I'm like, once it drops down to maybe like 40, maybe, but $100, $80, no. I think that's what like makes games like Expedition 33 so much better. Not only did they make a phenomenal game, but it only costs $50.
Well, and the other tough thing is like if you give the developer an inch and be like, all right, we'll pay $100 for it. Like all these other publishers and developers are waiting to see. They're waiting to see like how GTA does, and it kind of because when we sit down, when they sit down and do the numbers, they're gonna look at amounts sold and they're gonna look at like cash earned, and they're just gonna be like, all right, people are willing to pay $100, and it's gonna be like, and it's gonna be the wrong lesson because yes, people are willing to pay $100 for GTA. They're not gonna pay $100 for your bullshit.
So it's like, okay, you got GTA 6 that's gonna make, I'm just gonna make a bullshit number, but it's probably, I don't know what the actual number is gonna be. It's gonna make $1 billion within the
It's
first
gonna
year.
make some coin.
So it's gonna make a
Some
shit
coin.
ton of money. Ubisoft's gonna look at it and go, oh well, they sold their game for that. I'm gonna sell Far Cry 7 for that. And it's gonna be like half of what Far Cry 6 was. and it's gonna be even shittier and have a shitty antagonist. Like, yeah, no, you're not. You're gonna lose more money than and then you're gonna earn at that point. Like, you can't justify $100. They can because they put the time and effort in, and it appears to be the case.
And we haven't had a we haven't had a proper GTA in over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows for it.
Oh, so we can get them to pay $100 for Call of Duty every year. No, you can't.
No,
No. No.
For the tools that are not only buying the base game, but then on top of that buying the season pass, maybe.
I was gonna say, to be fair,
Maybe.
the season pass and the new game people every year are probably paying $100.
Oh no, there's not probably. They are definitely paying $100.
Well, and maybe that's Take-Two and Rockstar looking at it being like, well, the average player buys a game pass, or buys a season pass. What if we present it that way? It's kind of like how I feel about Nintendo with the Mario Kart. They're like, hey, you're getting this one game, you're getting this one Mario Kart this generation. We're not going to do another. I wonder if it's that principle. I don't know, but I don't want to pay $100 for a game. Do you?
The thing with Nintendo is, okay, fine, you're gonna give us that one Mario Kart for this generation or for this console. Cool. The problem is it could be 5 years down the road or 6 years down the road. It could be the last thing anybody plays because they played the shit out of it. And I go anywhere and it's still $80.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's like, no. If you are like every other console and game where eventually, I'm not saying the price drops to like 90% off, but like 40, $50, yeah, I'd probably consider it after a couple of years. But no, I'm not paying $80 6 years later. You can kiss my ass.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, moving down the road. Microsoft announces plans to lay off thousands more workers. 3% of employees across all departments will be laid off, the company says. This is a Video Games Chronicle article written by Chris Scullion. I don't know if you noticed, Nick, I tried to switch it up and not pull from the regular sites after we found out that they're being bought by the same company.
Look at you. Look at you go.
It was much harder this week.
Yeah, so numbers wise, it looks like they laid off almost 7,000 people this time around, which beats out the 10 or almost beats out
10,000.
the 10,000 from 2023.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it's across Microsoft, not just Xbox. But I just read about Jack Welch and all the stuff he implemented with layoffs and going global, and then the merger stuff. I mean, this is just Welchism being Welchism at this point. I don't know, man. I don't. What else can we say about layoffs that we haven't said over the last year?
It's getting to a point where it's like, where are all these? Like, we're not creating that many jobs as we're cutting. Like, we're people. It's convoluted, but at the same time, it's like, what are we supposed to do? Eventually, it's like, once again, back to the whole the game's going to cost $100. No one's going to be able to afford it. It's become a point where it's like, you maybe buy one new game a quarter. It's more of a luxury.
And just looking at this, like, I mean, it's just they're firing the people. The execs keep the chunk of change they're going to get at the end of the year every year, and then they just they just go and get contract workers to pay less and not pay for their insurance and try to save a buck. And I mean, there have been studies that show that for long-term growth for your company, that's not going to do anything. Like, you're gonna see bigger revenue on the short term, but when you're chasing quarterly instead of looking at the long term, like over the years, if you're looking at the quarters instead of the years and focusing on the quarters more, you're not growing. That's not healthy growth. And I think a lot of these companies are going to feel it 5, 10, 15 years down the road. You got anything else on this one?
No, it's just very depressing. And I was like, well, I got to put something in there. And unfortunately, this is at least decent news. So I have to.
I need to make Nick feel terrible.
Yes. I'll make Nick feel even more terrible.
Or what you got next?
Amy Hennig's Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra delayed into next year. This is a Eurogamer article written by Ed Nightingale.
Oh, you. Look at you. Amy Hennig, I don't think has she put anything out since one of the Uncharted games?
I don't think so. I think this is the first thing since then.
Is this gonna get canceled? I'm just thinking of every other superhero game right now. Wonder Woman was canceled, right?
Yeah, Wonder Woman was canceled.
Wonder Woman was. I just wonder if anything that isn't like this big thing is like getting canceled. 'Cause what was the last Marvel game to come out? Midnight Suns.
Yep.
And I just wonder. I wonder if these licensed deals. I wonder if like these developers and the people dealing out the licenses are looking at them and being like, maybe not, maybe no.
So I'm thinking, um, if if they were probably going to cancel it this year, if GTA 6 was getting released because they knew they weren't going to probably sell anything. Now with it being pushed back to next year, they're like, shit, we can finish our work, still have it out before then, and make a quick buck.
Wait, there's a story trailer for this game in March 2024. I don't remember this dropping. How sad is it that? Do you remember this dropping?
I do, but I could have sworn it was like January. I don't remember it being March.
I think we're gonna. It's kind of weird because with GTA being pushed back, you would think.
You would think you'd want to get it out with a lot more time to spare, but since they're saying early 2026, and what they said, is it May of next year that GTA comes out?
May 26th, 2026.
Yeah.
Yep. We're about a year and
I don't
13
know.
days.
I figured you would want to do no later than January. That'd be my assumption, of course. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it's based on a fiscal year
Yeah, but
scenario.
January is tough. Like, not a lot of games. I feel like
No, I would think
it's
I would
shifted
think
over the last
yeah,
15 years. Like, a game can come out in January and still be big, but I think when you have something like GTA looming in May, putting it out like within that 6-month window, you're asking for hurting. Like, I
I
wouldn't be
agree,
surprised
but
if every game within a year window of GTA, everyone was like, you know what, we're not doing it. We're pushing to 2027.
I mean, I see something like I know for a fact EA's already said that with the next Battlefield, they're not afraid of GTA 6 and they're still going to release. We'll see. Uh, I don't know. And you know how I feel about Battlefield 2042.
It's your favorite.
Um,
You said it's the
oh yeah,
best.
clearly the best. I, it's like I said, it's hard to tell. Obviously, GTA 6 is going to change the industry. It already has, and it's going to keep changing it, along with you know tariffs and honestly just cancellations of things left and right because it's not making companies money.
Well, it's just hilarious how everyone has their tail between their legs when it comes to GTA 6. They're like, let's wait for them to do their thing. Like, it just shows you how spineless every everything is. Like, I don't know, just like set a date, stick to it, scope your game out properly, and then just put the shit out. And then if
Yeah,
people don't want to play your game that cost you $1 billion to make, like, maybe don't make it $1 billion game.
let's be honest right now. GTA 6 is either going to be one of the greatest releases ever, or people are going to hype it so much because they love GTA 5 so much that it's going to fail.
GTA 6 is not going to fail.
No, I don't mean like I don't mean financially. Like, it's obviously going to recover what it made, what they put into it. But I'm saying like GTA 5 has been so successful because they've done a great job content wise, and the replayability is there. Is it going to be the same with GTA 6 though?
What Rockstar learned over the last 10 years is that they can print money with the online stuff, but
Mhm.
also that they can still be present. So GTA Online, they've been present for the last 10 years. They haven't put shit
Mhm.
out, but they've been present for the last 10 years. And you can be present for the last 10 years and still be in the zeitgeist, but not be like annoying. So like I think when all these companies got into like the Call of Duty mode of like, okay, we've got 2 or 3 studios splitting the work. We're gonna have a new title every year. Like, what? What are you doing?
No, you don't
What?
need that's too much. You don't need that.
And I think we talk shit on Ubisoft, but found they found a better formula for like Assassin's Creed because they took their break and then they came back with, was it Odyssey or Origins was the first one back? Origins. And
Origins.
so yeah, they took like, and then they would have like a year off. and I think Odyssey was it was either a year or 2 years later. But see, the thing is, once you have that new engine, it gets easier to build that next game. But the Assassin's Creed games were more spaced out. I think we just need to get back. You got to get you got to get the consumer back into the mind of like, okay, we're not going to have a new game in this until like 2 or 3 years down the line. Again, GTA is like on the other extreme of like, it's been 10 years.
We've gone through 2 different generations.
We were hey, when the last game came out, Barack Obama was still president, and in the middle of that, Trump was president, and then Joe Biden, and then Trump again, but we're coming. It's crazy when
Just
you
like
think about it
Trump,
that
we're
way.
back, baby.
We're back, baby. Ew, gross. No.
I know, sorry.
Gross. No. Uh, but yeah, I think we just got to get back in the mindset of like, no, every 2 to 3, between every 2 and 5 years, you get a release in this game title,
Yeah.
in this series, instead of like, oh, Call of Duty every year, let's go, baby.
That's too much.
Because you're gonna still have your Fortnite, you're still gonna have all your live service games that do well, but we got to get back to every other year, man, every other, and then you know what, your off year, that's when you fucking experiment.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys that usually make Call of Duty that are working on the game 2 years from now, let's do a little skeleton crew, and maybe you guys can do like a BMX game with like monsters or some shit. I'd actually play that. That sounds really cool.
Writing that down in
No
the
one-
idea blog.
No one steal my idea. Josh, what's next?
Finishing up the news, current gen remaster of GTA 4 could be in the works. This is a instant gaming, instant gaming news article by Theabot.
Josh, I love the effort to
Yes.
find non-Valnet folks.
This week was hard. All right, that's all I'm going to say.
I will say it's hard because my move is, okay, let's see what's the news on IGN, Kotaku, and then I would follow it up with Polygon, but now I don't do Polygon anymore.
And after we learned who owns all of them, it's like, well, fuck, this
Well,
is so much harder now.
There's no one over there anymore. I just heard about this one today. In fact, I think it was reported yesterday, but it sounds like 4 might be, is it 4? Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
4 might be getting a remaster.
Followed by Max Payne 3, apparently.
Hopefully it's not the folks who did the GTA bundle from a few years ago.
The Liberty City. It was a Liberty City. No, what was it called?
It had Liberty City, it had 3, it had Vice City, it had San Andreas, and they were all just done they were very poorly utilized.
Oh yeah.
This looks like it's a rumor. No, I'm down to replay GTA 4. I'm also down to replay Max Payne 3. I know that one's not counted in the Remedy verse or the Control verse, whatever you want to call it. Max Payne 3 is really fucking good. It feels like prestige TV. They really went for it. They were like, those guys were watching Breaking Bad, and they're like, let's do a Breaking Bad. Let's do a Breaking Bad. They were watching The Wire, Breaking Bad, and The Shield, and they're like, let's do those.
I think I'm more excited for GTA 4 just because it was one that I remember coming home. I don't remember what I was doing, but I came home and I remember you had just picked it up and you were playing it on the 360. And you're like, I remember I came upstairs and we were playing in the loft and you turn around and you're like, none of you fuckers are touching this game.
Is it Max Payne or GTA 4?
No, GTA 4.
I remember because our friend Andrew drove my copy back. I couldn't go pick it up with him, but he went and picked it up for me, and I just remember that box felt like it weighed like 10 pounds.
It looked like it did. But then again, when you pulled it out and you started playing it, I remember thinking, holy shit, this game looks so fucking clean. The rain and all that. Now you go back and you're like, oh fuck, this is ugly actually.
You're like, oh fuck, I was so fucking stupid. My eyes.
Well, I mean,
my stupid eyes.
But you gotta think, we were so used to PS2 and PS2 and Xbox graphics. We're like, dude, this shit's fucking awesome.
It is funny looking back, and at the moment, at the time, being like, these games look great, and now you look back, and you're like, oh, these games look brown and gray. What the fuck?
It's like I feel bad because it's like we make fun of like Gen X for doing the same thing with like they went from like Super Nintendo to PS1, and it's like, yeah, that's. I'm not saying that those graphics were terrible, but it's like, how the fuck can you think, oh, this game's so beautiful? Like, yeah, no, it's fucking awful. What are you talking about? It was always awful.
Well, even playing Alan Wake, and I know we're playing a remaster. I mean, that game still looks fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not saying it's the best, but definitely tons of like gray and like white.
Oh, especially during the day, but during the night, like the night scenes in
The
the
night
game, it
looks
looks
great. It's the
amazing.
day scenes where you're just like, they
Ooh.
throw like an orange tint on, and then everything else is still gray and white. You're like, what the fuck?
Well, and that's why Splinter Cell Chaos Theory will always be the best looking game of all time because you can't see any of it, so you can't be like, this looks like shit.
Or you just turn on the night vision, you're like, oh, everything's green and black. This makes sense.
Oh, it
Yeah.
looks so everything's green and black. It looks so good.
Dude, Chaos Theory, I don't care what anybody says. Chaos Theory is by far the best, not because of the campaign, but because of the multiplayer.
Can I pitch you the next book club? A double feature
Okay.
of Chaos Theory and Double Agent.
Ooh, okay. I'm good.
Those games are amazing. I don't care what anyone says.
Dude, I honestly, Double Agent is my shit. I remember just dude, that end, the true ending you get. Oh my god, it's so good.
I remember people were mad that there were daytime missions in that game, but they were great. They were
Yeah.
fucking amazing. Skydiving into the Arctic. You were on a
Yeah.
cruise liner. You're on a cruise liner that has like warheads on it or something.
I mean, honestly, I just like, is it the first? No, it's the second mission of you're in the prison and you have to break them out.
Yeah, you got to break out. Yeah, you're going undercover because
Yeah.
your daughter is killed, and you go undercover.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
was like,
helping
oh,
the bad
that's
guy break out so that he'll take you back to his gang.
yeah.
Ah, it's so fucking good.
It's so fucking good. And the fact that like you're the whole time you get to decide whether you're actually gonna be true to third echelon or if you're gonna be a double agent, you're gonna say fuck it.
Third
Ah.
echelon's fucked anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm killing Lambert.
Well, yeah, well, you don't know that until the next game.
But hey, fourth echelon, I hear they're pretty good.
Okay, is that the whole fuck, what's that one? Is that Blacklist? Is that the
I think they introduced fourth echelon. Fourth echelon's actually bad too because I think it's fourth echelon's the ones that are like doing the bad things in Conviction. Because I think
no, I thought that was still third echelon.
third echelon like folds.
No, I
by
thought
the end
that
of-
was because, and then they make fourth echelon, which Sam leads in the next game, but no one liked that because they had the weird choose from 3 different styles of play. You can either be stealthy like a snake or aggressive like a rhino or something like that. I'm just like, oh god, that just sounds awful.
I never played Blacklist. I remember Conviction had that. Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to go back.
Pretty sure Conviction was third echelon.
But yeah, those games fucking bopped. We should play those too. And Chaos
Dude,
Theory,
I'm
Chaos
totally
Theory's whole story about like your old partner being a bad guy, pretty good, pretty good. Just a good sneaky game. Good being sneaky. Thank you for the news. You got a meme for us?
Oh, I certainly do.
Me
Time.
All right, what you got?
We got Agent Nightingale. I'm waiting for you to bring it up before I say it. Got Agent Nightingale. So anyway, I started blasting.
It's accurate. It's accurate
It's
to
very accurate.
to what we just played in Alan Wake. Good meme, Josh. This was a last minute meme, but you found it. You did it.
Well, I was thinking like, oh, that's episode 4, and I'm like, no, that's actually episode 3. I was like, fuck yeah, we can use it.
So let's get right into the discussion. So we're doing episode 2 and 3. If you don't want it spoiled, pause this, maybe come back. Josh, do you have a favorite episode so far out of the 3 that we've played?
Oh God. I think probably 4.
Exclude 4. Exclude 4 out of 1 through 3.
Oh, 1 through 3.
Well, I do agree.
I think 3.
4 is pretty good. I will agree, but go ahead.
I think 3 out of the first 3 for sure, because 1 is just introductory. There's nothing much there. 2, I just feel fine. I mean, it's like you running through the woods the whole time. That's basically the story. Is you're running through the woods.
See, I kind of like 2 just from the character standpoint because you got Rusty, you got Rose. It's the first time you get to see Barry. You meet Mott or Ben Mott, who is the kidnapper. It's more interesting character wise. I feel like the first episode introduces Bright Falls. It introduces just the overall setting, Alan and Alice, and what they're going through. You don't really you get little snippets of like the characters, but really you're meeting the town. And then I feel like the only other one you really meet in the town of episode 1 is like Stucky, who's like there and then he's gone.
Yeah.
2, I do think it's 2, though I do have one big beef with 2. Do you know who I'm referring to when I say Bucktooth Charlie,
Yes.
the mammoth?
Yes.
You have the game eventually bringing the darkness brings things to life, and you don't bring one Bucktooth Charlie to life. It's bullshit.
Yeah, because they never really explain what attacks Rusty.
I think it's just like the darkness. I think it's the same darkness that rips Maud apart at the end of episode 3.
It is, but like it doesn't like clearly define it, and it's like because he's like like if I remember correctly in the manuscript, it even says like he's mauled, and it's like, well, what mauled him? Like
Was it a
the
bear?
darkness doesn't maul. Like, you would think like a bear, or you would even think Bucktooth Charlie.
Which would be really cool because then you have
Yeah.
the idea of this. There's this by the way, Bucktooth Charlie, if I didn't explain it already, is a mammoth skeleton that they have in their visitor center. Who you get to read a nice little sign about him and how they discovered him after the volcano erupted in the 70s, I believe, is when the volcano erupted. Which
Yep.
I'm starting to believe that wasn't a volcano erupting. I'm starting to believe that was Zane, Zane and his story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is because he did say he had to weaken them, and I don't think they ever like explained what he wrote, other than the fact that he wrote his lover's name,
Is that Barbara,
Barbara.
the lady of the light?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
And
writes her back, and then
and honestly, I don't think it matters that it doesn't matter what he writes because I think the point of it is that Alan is inspired by him no matter what, and then and I don't want to get too far ahead because I feel like talking about Zane, we kind of start to get into episode 4 and 5 a little more.
we can skip past it for now.
So we'll dial that back. I like Rose. Rose is a prominent character here throughout a lot of episode 2. There's a page that describes the love between Rusty and Rose. Rusty's like an old park ranger. Not old. He's our age, right? Would you say he's our age?
Yeah, I would say he's like 30.
He's in his 30s. He's had a failed marriage. Rose is like this 21, maybe like 24-year-old.
Yeah, like
who-
still early in her life, but far enough along that it's like not creepy.
Yeah. And there's a page early on that talks about her wanting to escape, and she dreams of being, I think she dreams of being an actress, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And it just never happened. And it's because, she's this girl from this sleepy mountain town. Like, how the fuck are you going to become an actress? And it's sad. It's a little sad because, she's this cheery girl working in this diner, and you start to think, man, this diner's really going to take it out of her.
Yeah.
And there's a page that kind of hints at their romance. Like, Rusty's really into her, but is too scared to say anything. Partially because, he's had the failed marriage, but also there's the age difference. And so you learn this about Rusty, and then he immediately gets torn apart.
Yeah. Oh, like I think it's like almost within like 10 seconds of picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the start of episode 2, like we were also in the police station early on. We meet officer, or what's the sheriff's name?
I just remember as Sarah. I forget what her last name is.
Yeah, maybe I got it right here. But yeah, Sarah is questioning you.
Sarah Breaker.
Sarah Breaker. And the refreshing thing is she doesn't think you're guilty. She's just like, "Hey, we're gonna find your wife, dude. Like, I don't think you did anything." Uh, and then you get a call from from a guy who is Mott. You don't know it's Mott at the moment, but he's like, "Hey, I've got your fucking wife. I've got your fucking wife. Come to
Bring me the
come to Lover's Peak. Come to Lover's Peak alone." Which is like, oh, what a weird place to want to meet us up at. But whatever, dude.
bring me the manuscript.
Bring me the manuscript. And it's hilarious because if you recall, everything is happening based off of what Alan has written, and he doesn't remember writing these pages. These pages are just popping up. You're finding them randomly, and everything's going down to the minute detail. Everything is happening, and so you're reading about the kidnapper, and then you're meeting up with the kidnapper. It's
Yep.
funny. It's just it's funny that you're like, oh, okay, so this is about to happen. Cool. You read about like a big encounter with enemies. You're like, oh fuck. There's a
Wait, wait, there's a guy with a chainsaw. Like, what? No, I haven't. It's like coming up. No.
First chainsaw guy. Yep, this is when everything had a chainsaw in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, you know what? Texas
If Resident
Chainsaw
Evil can do it, we
The
can do it.
massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is back in the zeitgeist. We gotta put a chainsaw in it. Episode 2 also introduces my favorite character, Barry Wheeler.
Who?
Barry?
Oh,
The
Barry. Yeah.
the
Sorry, I
just
thought
the
you said
little
Cherry Wheeler. And I'm like, who?
that's Barry's girlfriend, Cherry
Yeah,
Wheeler.
Cherry Wheeler.
They're not related, I swear. No, he's Al's wise talking agent. I like him because he seems like he's a scumball, but he seems
He's a
you think
loyal scumball.
he seems like a little bit of a scumball, just based on the way he kind of flirts with Rose when he first meets her, and you know he's older than Rusty. Probably, you're like,
Oh yeah.
Barry, knock it off.
She's sweet, Al. She's sweet.
She's sweet, Al. But I do love that he's always busting Al's chops because at this point, Al is still. I love that we're calling him Al now. By the way, Al is still like terrible to everybody in town, and Barry's like his foil. Barry kind of brings him back down to earth. I would say Alice is his foil, but she's fucking gone, dude. She's fucking gone.
But only that, I think of all the characters, I think Barry, he has the most change.
Yeah, yeah. When you see him early on, he's like, you're like, oh, who's this sleazeball? And then as you get further into it, you're like, oh, I like this fucking guy.
Yeah.
This guy, I want this guy to win. Whereas Alan, you're just like,
Like
take it or
Alan, yeah,
fucking leave it.
I mean, he changes, but I feel like for him, it's like, dude, you put yourself in this situation. You don't have to be a dick. Like, I don't get me wrong, your wife's an asshole for bringing a typewriter when
Yeah,
you're
that
trying to get
sucks.
away from it all. But like, dude, you went into a dark hallway and had an old lady hand you shit. Like, yeah, what were you expecting?
Yeah, you didn't question the random lady. You didn't ask her name or anything. It was like, yeah, give me the keys. Why not?
Yeah.
The other thing I forgot to mention at the top of episode 2, it opens with a flashback, or I guess you could consider it a dream, maybe.
No, it's a flashback.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Alan and Alice in their apartment. Alice is working on the artwork for a book. The lights go out. Alan gives her a little clicker and says, "Hey, hold this. Anytime it gets dark, click it, and the light will come back." And he tells her that, "Oh, that's." He tells her like, "This is what my mom told me. I'm giving this to you because I want to protect you from the dark." And Alice, while it's a sweet moment, Alice is like, "You made that up, didn't you?" And so again, we're going back to that reality versus fantasy. Like, what is real? What is made up? You have this smooth talking author who's like, "Yeah, you tell really good stories, but how much of it is true?"
Mhm.
Even his wife is like, "Is this true? Like, it's a cute story and really weird. You have this random clicker, but I gonna guess you just dug this out of the garbage, you asshole. But really cool story."
Where did you find this at? Like, what the fuck?
Where'd you get this? The car section. I want to talk about the car section of episode 2 because I really hate it.
Yeah. Once again, love the idea that you can at least use vehicles in the game. But why was that? Like, was that also a big thing around this time? Like, oh, we have to throw vehicles into a game.
It's the first time you do it, you're like, "Oh, cool. We're gonna get back to where I was, and I'm not gonna have to do any walking." To which I say you could just do an aspect ratio cutscene switch like you guys like to do. You could just do that and be back. We could be back at the 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 cabin with Barry. But no, they're like, "No, we're adding cars." And we hope to God you don't touch the camera because if you do, it's gonna free float around and you're not gonna have any control of it for a while. It's
Yeah.
frustrating. There's a page in one of the tunnels that you have to get out, run in, grab, run back, and your run is awful. And you're hoping that you don't get overrun, but oof. And and I said I had a fight to pick with an issue to pick with the game earlier. It's the game is always looking for ways to like take away your weapons.
Oh god, feels like every fucking time.
Which is fine. Like, and I know a lot of people play these games and they're like, I need to hold on to everything. I need to be precious about this. I remembered that the game was very annoying about that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use everything up as I find it. I do not care. I'm not going to save stuff for a big fight. I'm going to be well equipped, and everything will be okay.
No, I got to a point where I think I had more ammo for my flare gun than I did for my revolver.
It's just it's a cutscene will play out, and then something will happen, and then Alan will come over and do his monologue of, all I had was my flashlight." Well, Alan, hold on to your shit, man.
But I will admit, so it gets hinted when you read the manuscript and you start to see it more and more. They do a really good job explaining why he doesn't have his shit. And he says it best in one of, I think it's actually the first TV interaction you have, which is in this episode when you go into the men's locker room to get the key for the car.
Mhm.
And he says basically to make his story work, the protagonist basically has to almost lose every single time. So there'd be times where it gets really hard, but he doesn't actually lose.
And they do make it they do keep it interesting because there were a few times where you lose the light in the game. It's like, "Okay, we're just gonna have birds in this moment," or, "Hey, all you have is your light, but we also have some lights that you can press the button on and activate them to
Mhm.
help you fight enemies in that moment." And so they keep it interesting by controlling your inventory throughout it. And I remember that TV interview or that not TV interview, the TV scene where he's writing and like talking to monologuing to himself. And that one does stand out because he's like, we have to make it believable. I'm writing a story for the darkness. They need to know.
Yeah.
And I think this is the point where, because he doesn't remember writing the story, but these are flashes of him writing the story. And this is, I think at one point he says, I have to put myself in the story. And
Yeah. I think it's towards the end. He starts to say that.
yeah, and I mean, it's a typical author writer thing. You even if you don't mean to, you do end up putting yourself into a story no matter what. It happens. As
Yeah.
someone who's written a few pilots, a few other things, like you when you go back and read them, you're like, "Fuck, that's me. Fuck, I put myself in this. God damn it." But it's something you do because you write what you know. And I know that's an annoying trope. Of, oh, write what you know, but you're not writing like the I worked at Steak and Shake, but you're writing the pain. So like you take that pain of like working like a double shift and you apply it like how you feel to another situation. You're what you know is your emotions and how you felt about how something made you feel. It's not so much like the actual experience, but it's the emotion in that experience. It's a I didn't get any of this when I played it the first time, but I was also big dumb 15 years ago, so yeah.
It's nice playing some of these older games with our fresh perspectives as like true adults because it's like, oh, this makes so much more sense. And it's just, I think at the time we're like so worried about gameplay and just like enjoying like what's there
Mhm.
rather than actually like as a kid, I'll admit I liked stories, but not as much as I was playing games. Now I'm like, I'm actually more into the story. Like, if you give me a good story and it's like subpar gameplay, I'm like, yeah, this is actually fucking good. I want more of this.
Yeah, I think of I think of 9 Years of Shadow.
Yeah,
It's like, "Oh, this is really like, I'm interested. You've bought me in. Does the game suck? Kind of, but, I'm gonna play this through to the end, and
which
I
I
don't
still
know why."
haven't.
You don't have to do that to yourself.
I want to though.
The other thing I love about this game is that while you are separated from Barry again and again, it doesn't kill Barry. It doesn't kill Sarah. It finds ways to separate you, but it's like not doing it by like, oh, the darkness just ripped Barry away. He's gone forever.
I mean, I feel bad for some of the other characters though, because it's like you let you let Barry live, you let Sarah live. You killed Nightingale, even though he came in hot. You
Mm,
killed Stucky.
have you started to, Josh?
No.
Nightingale's in two. I'm just gonna give you a heads up on that.
Oh, so he's not dead.
You'll see. You play it. I want you to play it. I want you to play
I
it.
want to. Like after this, I'm like, dude, I kind of want like my goal right now is to finish this so I can go back to the library and get two.
I think it because I didn't finish two because remember I was having performance issues with it, but I'm
Yep.
thinking hopefully they fixed it and I can go back and play it. I got like 5 hours in, so we'll see. The the last thing I wanted to point out is that I think it's fascinating the way the game uses birds, and whereas they're used just about any time the character like Al is with Barry, they're almost always present when Al's with Barry. And I think
Mhm.
that's a fascinating thing about like flying the coop or like having this character that like doesn't belong there. And I kind of like that. I want to explore it more as we get into the later episodes. But I've noticed 2 times when we were with Barry and the birds attack, I was like, "Oh, wow, like, what a" like, it's almost like they're saying, "This guy shouldn't be here." I need to go a little deeper into it. My brain's a little broken right now. It's getting a little late. But yeah, Barry and Ellen escape. They get a call from Rose, who, "Hey, Josh, if you get a call from me and it sounds like this, don't come over and get whatever I say I have."
Okay, yeah, I'll be right over there to get it.
"No, Josh. Josh, I don't have what I'm lying about. Don't come over here."
That's not even the weirdest part. Okay, so for those who were confused by Nick, it ends with Rose calling them, giving you like, "Hey, we have we have your manuscript. Like, come get it." And you find out that Rose is being possessed by the woman in black.
Yeah. But
Then it goes straight. Sorry, go ahead.
it's a dumb character moment, but also you can explain it away by being Barry and Alan don't know this woman. They don't really see her as a person. They just see her as like a means to an end. And they're like, "Oh,
Yes.
hey, the nice waitress lady who runs my fan club has something for us. Let's go." And it kind of, yeah, it deals into like how selfish these two are.
Oh God, beyond like because he even goes in like when you go to her door and you're like, "Hey, Rose, you got my manuscript?" Like,
Yes,
go-
come in.
go- like I, I get that he's there to try to save his wife. I get it, but like he couldn't just be like, "Rose, thank God you found my stuff. Here, let me sign your book or something. Like let me do something to help you since you helped me." No, he's like, "Oh, fucking give me my manuscript, bitch."
Yeah, episode 3. So yeah, that ends. We kick into episode 3. They go to the trailer park where Rose lives. She's her house is in the back. She's this nice girl. You get walked in by, I think it's the guy who runs the trailer park,
Yep, Paul Randolph.
Paul Randolph, and he's like giving you the rundown of like her situation. But he's very suspicious of you, and rightfully so, because you have these two skis balls just coming in. You have this nice young girl, and they're very much Hollywood. They're Hollywood, and he's like, "Oh, what is this guy doing? Are these guys doing a casting couch? What's going on?" And so he rightfully has a watchful eye on them, and they get in. The dark presence has Rose possessed, and she ends up drugging them. And Alan wakes up hours later, and the cops are there, and he basically has to escape. This is where we meet Nightingale, right?
Yeah, so like you go back outside because you're gonna get the car, get Barry in there because he's passed out too, and Rose is just in the fetal position, like rocking herself back and forth. Uh, you get to the front gate, and the Paul's like, "Now you're in trouble," because he's like, "I'm sorry, we're there visiting somebody, and you called the cops. Like, what the fuck?" And then it literally, as soon as Nightingale gets out, he's just like, "Fucking he." First off, Nightingale's a fucking great character. Just a fucking H.P. Lovecraft.
He
Uh,
Yeah, he's just screaming. He's just screaming whatever author's name he knows. He's like,
yes.
calm down, Dan Brown," or he calls him Dan Brown. He's got a few other ones. I think I even
Uh,
tweeted these because I was
but
so
yeah, so
fascinated.
he he basically just gets out of the car and just basically starts shooting it out, and then makes
Immediately.
all the other cops are like, okay, so they start shooting at Alan too. And it's like, yeah, I'd be running too if all of a sudden FBI agent starts blasting.
I just started blasting. He he is just, as soon as he's on site, he's like, "I'm going to kill this motherfucker. I'm going to shoot him dead."
Which at first it doesn't make any sense. Well, it's actually still doesn't make any sense even after you get the manuscript, but it's like, God damn.
Well, I think that's the way Alan wrote it. Alan wrote like a hothead detective, because he wrote what are the detective books he wrote? Casey, whatever, that are based on Max Payne.
Yeah.
I think he kind of took a little bit of Payne or a little bit of Casey and put it into Nightingale and made him a hothead.
But it's like to start shooting before you like even like the first off you called like the beginning of episode 2 when you're at the police station. Sarah lets him know like, hey, there's an FBI agent who's looking for you. He just wants to talk to you. Okay, yeah. And then all of a sudden it's yeah, it wasn't talking to you. He just wanted to fucking shoot you in the face.
Well, and it goes back to like what you said. The hero has to look like the hero is against these great odds, and what
Right.
better way to do that than have this have this wild card that
Right.
just shows up and shoots at you on sight. I do love this part because he chases. So you get away, you run into the woods, and this is like a foot chase with the cops.
Yep.
The darkness is gone for now. You're running from the cops, and then the darkness starts taking the cops one by one, and you can hear them
Yep.
screaming for their lives in the woods. It's terrifying. Like the way they're screaming, it's terrifying.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, you even see that at one point they have a helicopter searching for you, and you see the darkness take it down. You're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, man, it definitely feels like the odds are against you. You get out, and this is like this chapter kind of throws me off because you escape, you get to the radio station, you're trying to talk to is that Pat at the radio station?
Yeah.
Pat Main. Nice guy, by the way. Lovely man. Lovely. I've listened to all his radio talks throughout the game, and it just feels good to have like that small personal community through FM radio. Because I think at one point, one guy's like, "Yeah, I was out. The weather's kind of weird. My dog got away. Could you have everybody keep an eye out for Skippy or whatever the fuck the dog's name
It
is?"
was Rusty. Rusty called.
Was that Rusty who called?
It's yeah, because that's when you go into chapter 2, uh, you see he's mending the dog's wounds because it fell into a bear trap,
Gotcha.
and
Oh,
that's
and he
how they introduced bear traps.
shit. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Bear traps are always weird because first of all, the darkness can't fall into bear traps. I've tried multiple times,
Yep.
and it annoys the shit out of me. But there are other traps later on that they can fall into. So the bear traps are. It's just annoying that they're there for you and not for anyone else.
And they're not like especially difficult to like avoid either. Like it's as long as you have your flashlight pointing in that direction, you're fine.
Yeah, you just kind of have to zig and zag. But yeah, so you get to the radio station. Pat's ready to interview you because he's a radio guy. He wants to talk
He's
to
not ready.
everybody.
He's like, hey, Alan Wake's here. Let's see if I can't get him in here for an interview.
Oh, he's just an elbow rubbing old man, and I love him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hold on. Before we go that far, though, I love the conversation he has with the lady before he tells everybody Alan Wake's there.
what's he say? What's he say? I forgot.
So he's like, hey, caller, you're on there. And she says her name. I can't remember her name. But she goes, yeah, there's something going on at the trailer park. And I wish they'd just, clean up that place because my granddaddy moved here back in 1910. And just like being like this old, like slightly maybe not racist, but like slightly like classist.
She hates the pores.
She hates the poor. And he's just like he wants to call her out, but he's like, no, I'm too nice. I'm on the air. He's like, thank you for your very compelling side of the story. We'll look into what's going on over there at the trailer park.
I do love that. It feels like a small town. It makes it
Yeah,
feel
it very
like
much does.
if Remedy did one, it's an amazing game. But if there's one thing that really stands out to me about Alan Wake is just how good of a small town Bright Springs feels like.
Yeah. Like it almost feels like they probably went to a small town for like a good month and just people watched the whole time.
They just hung out in a sleepy mountain town. That's all they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get there to talk to Pat. Lo and behold, Nightingale shows up. He starts shooting his gun.
Immediately.
He almost
With
kills
Pat
Pat.
made right next to you. Yeah.
He almost kills Pat. It's like just buzzes over Pat's head. There's a radio later on where you can listen to Pat kind of like coming down from it and like, I had a good talk with a federal agent who's a little too happy with his trigger finger. And then there's another one where he's talking to I think a relationship guy, and he's like,
He's talking to he's talking to the doc.
the doctor from chapter
Yeah.
4 or episode 4, and he's like, I guess the doctor
No,
doesn't believe.
not the episode 4. It's the doctor who checks your bandages in episode 2.
That's right. Okay, there's two doctors. So there's the old one that checks your bandages.
The medical doctor and then the psychology doctor.
The psychologist, the therapist. But yeah, they get onto the idea of like the one who got away or the one, and I think is it Pat who's like reminiscing. He's like, I think I messed up, but he's like he had a near death experience and he's like in shock basically because a bullet just whizzed past his head and he's thinking about the things that he fucked up. Just another cool moment that like you don't even have to listen to you can walk by it completely and not even catch it. Just a cool little moment in the game. I think there's another moment in this chapter. Maybe it's another episode, but he's interviewing some cops. That might be episode
I think it's
4.
I think it is 4.
That's the sawmill. That's the sawmill.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm getting them mixed up again. Another thing about this chapter or this episode, I keep doing that. I keep doing the chapter episode thing. Another thing about
They're
this
basically the
episode
same.
is there's a daybreak in it. I completely was caught off guard by this. You get to a truck, you drive, and then it's day again.
Yep.
And then the game I forget what it does. Does something, and then it's immediately night again. Oh, he's waiting. He's hanging out. He's hanging out waiting
Yeah,
for he's at Mirror Peak waiting
he-
for the kidnapper. Kidnapper never shows up. It's 12 hours later. The sun is down. And you're like, Alan, why'd you wait so long? Fuck.
and then he calls you. He's like, change of plans.
Change of plans. Pray I
Which
don't
I'm not
change
sure.
the deal further.
Which I don't think the game really ever explains why. I know he's in a little bit of a panic when he calls you. It's because the darkness is after him, but I don't think it ever explains like what exactly happened that made the plans change, other than the fact that the darkness got involved.
I think the game does get a little messy with who has what pages, but it's implied that Mott has some pages.
Yeah.
And so all of episode 2 he's going off of pages that you don't have, or
Mhm.
he's had the pages that you now have. I think it's when you're finding pages in episode 2, it's Mott like reading them and then leaving them behind.
Yeah.
Or forgetting them or whatever. And then I think it's implied at this point that he no longer has pages to go off of, so he's kind of being written into a corner and he's kind of getting scared because he knows Alice is dead. He's read a page that says Alice is dead or Alice isn't alive anymore.
Or the darkness has Alice.
The darkness has Alice. So
Yeah.
he's working with someone that we've discussed a little bit earlier, but we won't spoil that until we get to the next episode. And so he's completely in the dark at this point. No pun intended. He's got nothing to go off of because he was working off an incomplete manuscript. And that's why the deal is he wants the rest of the pages. He's bringing them here and he's like, I want the rest of the pages. I'll give you your wife. And it doesn't happen because Alan doesn't have the pages and Mott doesn't have Alice. Does anything else happen at this? Because I'm skipping ahead to where you just get to the dock. The tornado rips Mott in half.
No, because like he just keeps sending you like he keeps calling you like, dude, you need to get here. And then he like starts sending you like rambling messages if you're not fast enough. So like it's really pretty much you're just trying to get to him as quickly as possible. Like you do have your like really weird, hey, there's this gate that's electrified right now and I can't get by it. I have to go all the way to this generator by car, turn it off, turn all the way back around, fight through the train yard, then climb over the fence.
Yeah, this episode gets a little annoying with the backtracking.
Yes.
Just a smidge.
I think this is also the episode where you fight the steam train. It's the mini boss.
Yeah, and the thing about the steam train, I didn't realize I was fighting the steam train until I beat the steam train. I was just like, oh, what's
and you
this?
and you got the achievement for it.
It's like, what's this big hunk of junk being thrown at
Yeah.
me? And then the achievement popped, and I was like, oh yeah, that was the locomotive. That was the train.
It just doesn't look like it
No.
at all.
No, it's just it looks very bad.
Everything in this game except for barrels look bad.
So and this is the first episode where the game starts throwing things at you. Like the darkness starts picking up big objects and throwing. And this is when it gets kind of messy because you kind of have to put something between you and that object in hopes of not getting hit.
Especially if there's multiple of them. Like I know the later on when you're on the later on in the game, there's a bridge that you probably know what I'm thinking of, where everything comes to life.
That bridge sucks.
Dude, I fucking hate that. Not just because of the shit that gets thrown at you, but the fact that the bridge can fall apart for no reason.
That and you just it's a bridge, so you've got walls and you're kind of in a tight quarter, so you can dodge and not really dodge. You just dodge right into the wall and then you're getting hit anyway.
Or if you're lucky, it's picking up something big, tossing it, missing you, but hitting the floor beneath you, and once again you fall through.
And once again, you're throwing all this shit at me, but you can't control Bucktoothed Charlie. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I hope, and I haven't played all the way through the second one, but I hope they rectify this. I hope the second game rectifies this issue. You listening, Remedy? You fucking listening to me? God damn it.
If not, Nick's coming for you.
Coming for you. I am the darkness. But yeah, chapter 3 or episode 3 is just not my favorite.
Like I said, it just to me because it is. I think it's the first part of chapter or episode 3 that I like. It's just because the whole chase sequence is just really it's done well.
Yeah. And then the stuff
I
with
think
Pat
after
is
that, I'm
also
like,
really
eh.
done well, and the
Yeah.
follow-up to it. But after getting everything with Pat, it just kind of falls off. I
Yeah.
think Barry calls you at some point to say he's awake and he's got your standee. He's got your cardboard cutout.
No, that is
Episode
episode
the
4.
start of episode 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my wires here. I'm excited to talk about episode 4 though, cuz I think it's a really good episode
I
4
think
is the best episode of the game.
Oh, without a doubt it is.
And again, I haven't played the 2 DLC episodes, so I'll reserve my judgment until then, but yeah, man, I can't wait to talk about episode 4. And Josh,
It was so good.
anything in closing about these 2 episodes? Anything about Scary, Night Springs or whatever? Anything else you found fascinating?
I do think Night Springs, it starts to get better in chapter 4 or episode 4. Like, they're just very much like one-off, like, it's okay.
Is there one I'm trying to think, is this the one where there's a man and they're like in a relationship and the man has like a alien pop out of his chest or something? I don't know. I only half pay attention when those are on.
No, you're talking about the couple that are driving?
Yeah.
No, so they're driving. The girl sees something on the ground and is like, "What is that? Pull over." They pull over, and then she goes out, and it's actually the guy. He's crawling because he's been hit by a car, and she freaks out and runs away. And then the boyfriend comes in and goes, "What?" And then gets hit by a car, and it just repeats itself.
Oh, it's a time loop. Yeah, they do a lot of
It's a time loop.
Quantum break.
Yep.
It's quantum break.
Yep. And then there's one where he has the infinite. I forget what they called it, but it's like infinite something. Where basically like because there's infinite universes out there, unlimited possibilities. He goes, "This machine here, I have it plugged in, and if I take this gun that's loaded," and he shows him it's loaded, and when I pull the trigger, it doesn't work. And he goes, "Because what happened is I made it to where this reality it was supposed to happen, but because I have this on, I actually changed it so the possibility of happening for me was 0, where for them it does happen." And they're like, "Well, what happens if it's turned off?" He goes, "Oh, don't turn it off. But if you did," and he does it again, but he doesn't realize someone unplugged the machine and he kills himself.
And they accidentally unplugged it.
Yeah.
But by the end of this book club, I'm gonna be in a straitjacket screaming, "It's all quantum break! They're setting up quantum break!"
No, they did a great job. Honestly, Remedy has done a really great job setting all of this up. Like looking back, I mean, when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is a really cool one-off game." No, they did a great. Like, I almost want to go back and play the arcade, the sequel, the American Nightmare.
Yeah.
I want to go back and play that now because I don't like. I remember seeing like the beginning of it, but I don't actually know what happens.
Maybe just watch a Let's Play.
That's probably what I'll end up doing.
All right, and I've got nothing else on this. I'm gonna say it again. I'm really excited to talk about episode 4. 'Cause I think it's from a gameplay standpoint and from a story standpoint, it's a really good chapter. A really good
Oh,
episode.
they do. I mean, between 4, like 4 is really good setting up the story. I think 5 really sets up like what's like. Honestly, it's like the last big like push of like the darkness is doing everything it can to stop you.
5 sets up a really big showdown. You're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
we're gonna go find Alice. Let's go save Alice. But we'll get to
We're
4
gonna
and
fall asleep.
we'll get to episode 4 and 5 next week. That's right. If you're playing along, play episode 4 and 5. And if you have anything you want to say, we've got our Discord that you can hop into. You can also ping us on Blue Sky, and we'll do that stuff. So we've reached the end of the episode. We are going to get the hell out of here. But before we do that, let's tell you where we're at. I am over on Blue Sky at nickkaufman.com. You can find my written words on Game Chronicles up until the end of the month, so go check that site out before it's gone. I also have pieces on hard drive. I've got a new one coming out. I don't think this will be out in time, but I'm going to give you a little preview. I've got one about a pregnant Marcus Phoenix, so look at that beautiful artwork, Josh. What do you think of that? How does that make you feel?
That's hot.
Yeah. I won't spoil
really
the
hot.
piece. I mean, the picture kind of spoils it, but you'll know the piece when it's out. We've got the website from our cousin, our Nepo baby cousin, Hollywood Times, where the S is a money sign. Go follow that on Substack. And I'm also on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Night. Right now on Twitch, I am streaming Wordle. I get on, I do Wordle, I get off. It's beautiful. 1 million people have watched me do this. 1 million. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at I'm Josh Saying. I have my 2 most recent reviews over at Game Chronicles, and then I'm also actually working on another one.
Oh shit, he snuck another one in.
I did. I think it's gonna be my last review.
It's the end of an era, man.
It is. It's sad to think.
It's sad to see it go. You can also find Smashing Game Time. We have a website, smashinggametime.com. That's where you can find this podcast. We also have words over there. Not as many words as we used to, but we'll get more words on there one day, I swear. We're just so busy putting words everywhere else. And then again, get this podcast wherever you get podcasts. We are on Apple, Spotify, YouTube proper. I'm sorry, YouTube podcast, YouTube proper. Check us out everywhere. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. Thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt 'Em Down. We have a link to his SoundCloud down in the show notes, so go check his stuff out. He's got some good stuff. This song's not even on his SoundCloud anymore. It's kind of nuts.
Oh, it's not?
It's not. I went to look for it the other day and it's not. I still have it downloaded on the PC, but it's gone. It's gone.
That's crazy to think.
He hasn't said anything to me about not using it anymore. So I'll probably reach out, make sure we're still in good standing with him, but otherwise, I mean, I have been thinking about, we should probably get a new song.
Probably, 160 episodes in might be a good idea.
Maybe we do it for like the 40th. Or, I'm sorry, maybe we do it for the 200th. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's well. First, make sure it's okay that we keep using this song.
We'll see. All right, everybody, we did it. We reached the end of the show. This has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you all had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.